So my name's James Knight. I've been in China for about 5 or 6 years now, and today I'm in Suzhou, which is a very traditional city in eastern China, and it's a smaller city as well, but it's got a lot of interesting architecture and a lot of things to do. So come around with me and we'll have a look around together. I'm in a traditional Suzhounese noodle restaurant and I've got some dishes here. One is fish in a sweet noodle soup and the other one is sliced pork in a spicy noodle soup with some pork chop. It's very tasty, so we're going to have some food here. Suzhou has Jiangnan style architecture, and it's quite interesting when you walk around all these side streets and seeing all these old style Jiangnan architecture. It reminds me a little bit of Beijing. When you would go down the side streets in Beijing, it also had the same kind of feel to it. And it's a very artistic looking city with lots of like vibrant shops and vibrant restaurants and a little bit of street art scattered around as well, which is kind of cool. When you're in Suzhou and you're walking around, you'll find areas of Suzhou that's kept its old style urban design and its old style architecture, and it's really nice to walk around, and it's got little rivers like canals and all these old buildings. It's quite a beautiful place. Couple's Garden, which is one of the main attractions here in Suzhou, and it's a park. Some of the parks you have to pay for, but this one's free, and I think it has a romance theme. So let's have a look around and see what's going on. I'm up on the old city wall now, and you get some great views of the city from here. It's quite nice, a bit windy, and you can see all the canals and all the old architecture, and then across from the wall there's the river, and then the other side of the city, so it's quite pleasant. The wall I was just on, it's been built on the old wall, and then in different parts of this park you can still see the old wall. So you can actually see the difference if you were to look closely at the bridge, at where the old wall finishes and the new wall begins. So it's not a genuine wall, it's been rebuilt, but you can see what's left of the genuine wall. One thing about Jiangnan style architecture is when you look at the walls, they like to cut a square out in the wall. So it's like a hole in the wall that's square shaped, and then behind the hole they'll put interesting sculptures and interesting decorations up, so that it almost looks like a picture frame. And also it makes walls feel more open and gives the corridors more space. One of the reasons why they like to use white paint in this architecture is because when they make the walls white, they'll use the shadows of nature, like trees and bushes, to cast a shadow on the white wall so that it can decorate the wall, almost like a projection, which is an interesting way of thinking about architecture. Got up this morning and the weather is terrible. It's really rainy, not too cold, but just really rainy and miserable. But the good thing in that is that I've decided I can't fly my drone because of this weather, so my bag's a lot lighter, which is good because I've been carrying all this camera equipment around for days, I've got a sore back, so this should make my life easier today. I'm in Suzhou Museum, and this museum was designed by a guy called I.M. Penn, which is an American Chinese architect, and he also designed the Glass Pyramid in Paris. And it's a really interesting piece of architecture because it's done in a Jiangnan style, like the Suzhou architecture style, and there's been quite a lot of thought that's gone into this piece of architecture. And when you're walking around, the ceiling has been designed in such a way where sunlight can be let in to all the rooms, and it's been designed in a way to get the maximum amount of sunlight depending on what time of day is facing that building. So in there is actually a lot of artifacts from the ancient dynasties of China, and you kind of feel like when you're walking around you're more interested in the architecture. It feels like it's a shame in a way that it's not an architecture museum, because you get so interested in the architecture that you fail to concentrate on the actual artifacts that are being exhibited. I'm in Hongbo Administration Garden, which is one of the main gardens you can come and see in Suzhou. Suzhou's famous for gardens, and there's a good variety to choose from. I think this one is one of the more popular ones to come and visit. It's very beautiful, and everywhere you go there's a nice shot to take. It's very photogenic. If you like taking photographs, it's a good place to come. And also it's another good example of Suzhou architecture. Suzhou's a nice place, great architecture and lots of beautiful gardens. If you love urban design and architecture, it's definitely a place to come. The Suzhou Museum is fascinating, and there's a lot of history here. I think there's been people living here for a very long time, and it reminds me a little bit of Chiang Mai in Thailand. It's got that same kind of feel to it. So it's very relaxing, lots of artistic shops and nice little businesses, and lots of things to do. So I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.